Do you find yourself working hard, delivering results, and still not seen as strategic or high potential? Do you trust your own judgment, or do you hesitate and feel unsure in your leadership role? Do you avoid the hard conversations? And do you feel burnt out, frustrated, or resentful with the increased workload? These are questions that I've asked myself during my career, and I've spent over 30 years inside the corporate world, and I've seen it all, the good, the bad, and yes, the ugly. I've worked in complex, high-pressure environments where expectations were relentless, and stakes were high, and leadership often came with unspoken rules that no one ever explained. I learned very early on how to perform, how to deliver, and how to survive. And like many women of my generation, I also learned to stay quiet, to work harder, and to prove myself again and again. Over the years, I've watched workplaces evolve. Technology has accelerated, roles have changed, boundaries have certain blurred, and pressure just increases. But what hasn't evolved fast enough is how we lead people. There are too many outdated leadership models that are still asking us to over-deliver for best results. And the cost, especially for women, has been confidence erosion, burnout, invisibility, and self-doubt. I believe we can do better, and in this new era, we must do better. As new and emerging women leaders today, you are stepping into roles with so much more complexity than ever before. You're expected to lead teams often without authority or influence without titles, and honestly, deliver without burning out, and all the while working through bias, imposter thoughts, and constant pressure to be on. I know this space all too well because I've lived it, not once, but repeatedly and at different stages in my career. I've been the high performer who wasn't seen as ready. The leader who carried the emotional load for everyone on my shoulders. And the woman who questioned herself after every tough conversation, even when the decision was right. Does this sound like you? I was the one who said yes way too often, overfunctioned, and felt the weight of responsibility without the space to stop and take a break. And I've also experienced adversity, both professionally and personally. And those moments that forced me to stop, to reflect, and to ask the deeper question, am I really a leader? And when everything feels so uncertain. Like many of you, my biggest leadership lessons didn't come from a strategy document. They came from life itself. When everything fell apart, I had to rebuild from the inside out. So it was August 2006, and I was sitting in a cafe doing some work while waiting for my 9-year-old daughter to finish her ballet class. I'm sure you can picture the scene. I had my Saturday morning routine. I had gotten to know Sam, the cafe owner. I had my regular scrambled eggs on toast with smashed avo on the side. Everything was normal and routine. But in the space of minutes, I realized that I had to end my marriage. My perfectly normal life shattered. My world imploded. Betrayal hit me really hard, and I was devastated. The way I chose to deal with all this was to put the "I'm fine" mask and fake it till you make it. But eventually I realized that I needed to work up the one underneath the happy face, the real me. So at the age of 40, I knew who I'd become, but I didn't know who I was. So I started the journey of self-discovery. And let me tell you, self-discovery is not as glamorous as Instagram makes it look. There were no yoga poses at sunrise or serene journaling sessions in beautiful locations. Instead, there were moments like standing in the middle of the aisle at the local supermarket at 8 p.m., clutching a tub of ice cream and a family-sized packet of chips and wondering, is this rediscovering myself? One step at a time, I rebuilt. With therapists, books, tears, coaches, and lots of snacks. I discovered that real strength isn't about wearing a mask or faking confidence. It's about emotional intelligence. Learning to go inward, to build self-awareness and emotional steadiness and self-trust. And that became the foundation that allowed me to lead with confidence, with clarity, and with presence. And this is what I now call inner fitness. It's that inner strength that helps you stay grounded under pressure so that you can make the clear decisions, and show up visibly without the self-doubt running the show. As my inner fitness strengthened, so did my leadership. I have led incredible teams. I've made confident decisions and really navigated complexity with so much greater ease and stepped into roles that I only once dreamed of. And actually, I achieved my long-held career goal of becoming a medical director at a pharmaceutical company. And over the years, I've coached and mentored countless women leaders. Women who are capable, committed, and yet wondering if leadership is meant to feel this hard. I help them build the inner foundations they were never taught so they can lead with confidence and the visibility that they're looking for without losing themselves along the way. And that's why I'm so passionate about mentoring the next generation of women leaders. This is why I'm so passionate about mentoring women like you. The future of work needs leaders who are emotionally intelligent, self-aware, and values-driven. And in today's world, human. And you are uniquely positioned to lead this shift. With a community to learn and test drive new skills, I want to remind you of the leader you have always been, the one inside who is ready to step up. I have found that we are going into this crazy fast world, and we as women leaders need a new toolbox of skills and a different mindset. And this is why I'm introducing Growth EQ Leadership, a powerful new model that combines a growth mindset, emotional intelligence, and what I call leadership with love to help new and emerging women leaders gain unshakable confidence. Unlike traditional models focused mostly on competencies, Growth EQ starts from within, empowering you to connect to your inner power and lead with clarity and strength. Because by leading with more love, you'll have higher team engagement and retention, and better crisis management, and a more productive and innovative team. Growth EQ leadership wasn't created in a boardroom or pulled from a textbook or even written by AI as we have nowadays. It was born from lived experience. What I saw and experienced myself was that without inner strength, even the best strategies fall apart under pressure. Growth EQ leadership is my response to that gap. So I developed Growth EQ leadership because I wanted a model that honored ambition without burning people out, that builds confidence from the inside out, and that integrates emotional intelligence as a core leadership capability. This model supports women to be visible, influential, and grounded without pretending to be someone that they're not. At the heart of growth EQ is a growth mindset and emotional intelligence to regulate emotions and stay present under pressure. And trust in yourself when it's all uncertain and you have to lead with clarity rather than from fear. And that inner foundation is what allows women to speak up and handle the difficult conversations and step into roles confidently and with credibility. Growth EQ brings together three essential elements: a growth mindset that supports learning, adaptability, and resilience; emotional intelligence that strengthens self-awareness, communication, and relationships; and leadership with love, listening, openness, values, and empathy. Because leadership without humanity is no longer fit for purpose. I designed this community based on my clients' feedback, specifically for new and emerging women leaders. Women like you, who are stepping into leadership for the first time, while still managing that self-doubt and the unspoken expectations, and nowadays in a very complex workplace environment. Growth EQ gives you the languages, the tools, and the inner strength to lead on your terms, not by outdated rules. Growth EQ leadership exists because we as women leaders don't need more fixing. We need frameworks that reflect reality, that honor who we are, and equipped us for a world that we're leading in now. This is the leadership model that I wish I'd had earlier in my career. And this is why I'm so deeply committed to helping the next generation of women leaders rise with strength and heart and impact. And before we talk about skills and strategies or influence, we need awareness. So I've developed the Leadership Self-Check. This assessment helps you recognize your leadership patterns without judgment or shame. It highlights where your confidence, your visibility, and possibly your boundaries and leadership presence are supporting you, and where there are hidden gaps that may be slowing your growth. So click on the link below, which will take you to my Leadership Self-Check. And it's 15 short questions, and it should take you no longer than about 3 minutes to complete. And as you go through the questions, I invite you to simply notice where you feel strong, where you maybe feel a little stretched, and where you might be relying on effort instead of an inner authority. Your overall score is not a label, and it's certainly not your limit. It's a snapshot of the internal patterns currently shaping how you show up, speak up, decide, and lead under pressure. Through my personal career journey, I found that self-awareness is where real leadership growth begins. You can't build strength around something that you haven't been able to see clearly. And now you can, and that clarity is powerful. It gives you a starting point. From here, your next step isn't about reinventing yourself or copying someone else's leadership style. It's about strengthening your inner foundations, the mindset, the emotional steadiness, and the self-trust that make leadership feel solid and sustainable for you. When those foundations grow, your confidence becomes so much more consistent, your voice becomes certain, and your presence becomes more natural and not forced. And with the right guidance and practical inner fitness habits, leadership stops feeling like something that you have to keep proving and starts feeling like something that you genuinely own. Today, I mentor new and emerging women leaders to connect with their inner power and discover their unique voice and achieve unshakable confidence. And all of this is so that you can lead with greater recognition, visibility, and accelerate your career progression. And ultimately, increase your earning potential. And I help you build a career that you genuinely love and are passionate about and can help the people who you feel called to serve. And the money is awesome. But what really excites me is being able to help people live the lives they dreamed of. And you know what really excites me is building a community of legendary women leaders who are taking their passion and putting it out there into the world and changing lives of the people around them. For me, that's what this is all really about. And this kind of shift doesn't come from insight alone. It comes from supported practice, structure, and real-world application, which is exactly what we focus on inside the Growth EQ Leadership Academy. Where I help you build the inner fitness that supports the visibility and the grounded leadership. I would love to share with you some points that I have felt that were big strategic moves that I made in order to build and maintain my inner fitness and ultimately up-level my career. So the biggest strategic move that I did was actually sign up with a coach and a mentor. And I still have a coach right now because we all need that objective sounding board in our lives. And I don't say that because I'm a mentor and a coach and so that you can hire me. I say that because it's what truly was the turning point for me. And it's a strategic step that I took that seriously helped me take my career to a completely next level. And whether you hire me or not, that doesn't matter. You can go and hire someone else. But I'm saying a coach and a mentor, someone who has been where you want to go, and hiring them for that guided support and the deeper context and helping you move forward on a clear path, that's the most important part. And another major move was finding my tribe, my community of like-minded women who have helped me stay focused and on track. And the last major step that I want to share with you today is all about commitment. Reading the books and doing the workshops only go so far. They do not create the change in your life that you are seeking. Only you can create that change, and it requires commitment to take action over and over again daily. And you don't have to move mountains. Just baby steps will do. Because without taking steps, you'll be no better off in a year's time than you are today. So commitment to action means taking the first step. Start working towards your goals, even if the initial progress is small. Just keep at it. Consistency is the key to long-term success. Commit to regular, sustained effort rather than sporadic bursts of activity. And be prepared to face challenges and setbacks because they will happen. Your commitment will be tested when you encounter obstacles. So find solutions that will help to keep you moving. And set these up before you start because you know what motivates you, so connect with that. And you also know what demotivates you. So do less of that, even if it means getting off your phone at night. Today, I'm grateful for the confidence to stand before you in my worth as a leader. Having reached my career goals, written 2 best-selling books, and knowing my experiences and insights make real impact. I've learned the skills to engage and inspire teams, to build trust, and to help them excel. I have the tools to face change, bounce back faster, and create balance in my life. And that's why I really love helping women leaders just like you make this big shift, transforming your careers into something that gives you freedom, fulfillment, and the power that only comes from within. If this is something that sounds interesting to you, I have a link in the description and you can book a call with me and I can lay out a game plan for exactly what all of this can look like for you. I appreciate you watching and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.